Biblical and Theological Jurisdictionalism. Who has the right to speak for God? By S C SAYLES. In an age of collapsing trust, institutional overreach, theological confusion, and endless competing truth claims, S C SAYLES confronts the deeper issue beneath many disputes: authority. Biblical and Theological Jurisdictionalism. Who has the right to speak for God? Argues that conflicts often presented as disagreements over doctrine, tradition, politics, interpretation, or preference are more fundamentally battles over rightful standing. Who may define, command, bind conscience, judge, and speak in God's name. Drawing on Sayles's distinctive jurisdictional method, this substantial two-part work develops a scripture-saturated framework for understanding authority under God. Part 1 traces the biblical foundations of rightful rule through creation, Eden, covenant, Christ's lordship, the church, the state, and final judgment. Part 2 applies the same framework theologically to scripture, salvation, church order, conscience, worship, and heresy. The result is a sustained and forceful argument that no person, movement, institution, or office speaks for God autonomously. All lawful authority is derivative, bounded, accountable, and subordinate to Christ. This book challenges false authority in every form: religious manipulation, ecclesial inflation, statist overreach, counterfeit spiritual claims, and the modern cult of autonomous self-rule. It also rejects the opposite error that all authority is oppressive. Sayles argues instead that the real choice is never authority versus no authority, but rightful authority versus counterfeit authority. Throughout the volume, readers are pressed to reconsider assumptions that often pass unquestioned. Can institutions enlarge their own mandate simply because they possess influence? Can tradition bind where scripture has not bound? Can private conviction become sovereign merely because it is sincere? Can political power define moral reality by decree? Sayles contends that many modern crises persist because these jurisdictional questions are rarely asked clearly, and because counterfeit claims flourish where limits are forgotten. The work is therefore both diagnostic and constructive. It does not merely expose abuses, it seeks to restore proportion, responsibility, and ordered liberty. By placing every human office beneath divine judgment and Christ's mediatorial lordship, the book offers a coherent vision in which authority can be honored without idolatry, resisted without anarchy, and exercised without pretension. In a culture suspicious of rule yet vulnerable to domination, this framework is both timely and necessary. Serious, rigorous, and unapologetically Christian, this work is written for readers concerned with doctrine, church life, conscience, liberty, civil order, and the lordship of Christ over every human claim to rule. It is a book for those who want more than slogans, sentiment, or institutional self-protection. No creature speaks for God inherently. God authorizes his own witnesses. Christ remains the final court of appeal.